Hello guys, this is Wunderby Trading and we carry on with our weekly Bitcoin and Ethereum price analysis. And today, as usual, we're going to start from BTC price in front of you. You can see 4 different charts. All of them are related to Bitcoin. The one on the top left is the Btc Futures. The one on the top right is the Btc Dominance chart. And the two at the bottom are BTC price to dollar from 2 different exchanges, Bitstamp and Binance. So currently in front of you, you can see that the previous week closed right at the level of the 50 moving average, acting as a resistance on a weekly time frame, both on the futures market and on the spot market as well, which means that during the weekends, not much change in relation to the Friday's close. On the one hand, this is the sign that even though the volume increased, this is a question mark on whether this breakout is the real one or not, and whether we'll see the price increase even further towards the level of the previous high, which is 10,500, and maybe even further towards 11 or even 13,000. Let's go to the daily charts. Here we can also see that the actual breakout on the daily above the 200 moving average was quite nice and strong. This occurred on the 29th of April, right towards the end of the month. And straight after this breakout, we can see that some of the positions were closing. This can be indicated by the bar on the 30th of April, which has a nice and long wick towards the upper side, with the small body closed at the bottom of the candle. During the weekends, not much changed in terms of the price. However, the volatility was quite good because the price varied between 8,600 and 9,000 if we're not taking weeks into the account. And Monday early morning, we started our descent in terms of the price. So currently the BTC is trading around 8,600. And the Btc futures are, roughly at the same parameter. Let's switch on all our predictions from latest analysis, which was last week. And as you can see, the price went above the 200. Now we retesting this as the level of support. Whether we would be able to hold it or not depends on the next few days. Especially I think towards the mid of the week, we would be able to see whether this support line would be able to hold. So let me start from the futures market. What you can see in front of you is the daily chart for the BTC Futures. The most important thing here is that all our previous predictions that the BTC price will go down even further were broken on the in the beginning of April, actually, when the price started to go towards the upper side of the downward channel, and then we broke it completely, broke the 50 MA, broke 200 MA, and currently the price found some resistance during the 30th of April. And if we link the highest price on the 26th of June and the highest price on the 14th of February, we would be able to receive the new downward channel. And the most interesting part about that is the price on the 30th of April touched exactly the same resistance points. So let us clear the previous downward channels, and we would be able to construct a new one, touching the lows. So if this is correct, if we assume that the price is still going in a downward channel, then what we need to see is the retracement from the previous impulse wave towards the area of at least 50%. So this is the price of around 7,200 based on the BTC futures. If we retest this level, maybe even further, Then we might see another impulse wave trying to break this resistance and the downward channel and try to go even higher. So the preliminary result is that the price will retrace and then will try and attempt to break the downward channel. There is also another option that if it doesn't hold, then the price may go towards the bottom again, towards the area of 5,300. Once again, this is linked to the idea that we still did not accumulate enough of Bitcoin in terms of the large players and large participants in the market to push the price to the new highs in the bull run. So let's look at the Btc Dominance. Here everything is going in accordance with our plan. So the price, the Btc Dominance didn't touch our upward channel and started its reverse towards the 200 MA. Now it's finding some resistance at that level. However, taking into account the news and the idea that the halving will be linked with the positive gains in Bitcoin, we would expect that the Btc Dominance will break the 200 MA and start its increase. Let's look at the long-term trend from Bitstamp exchange. Once again, we're looking at the daily chart over here. What we can see is that from the high of 2018, we can see a downward channel forming. So this resistance line which is formed, we didn't touch it on the 12th of February. Maybe we would be able to retrace back towards the area of 8,000 on the spot market where 200 MA is, and if we are able to hold it, then we'll go towards the area of 10,000. So this will be the level of the previous high, this will be the level of the resistance as well, and this will be a nice point to for the price to stop for a while, so we can see the future movements. So the prediction on the spot market is the following: that first scenario is that we're touching the 200 MA and then we're trying to form the new local high, which would be equal to the previous one. Or if we break the 200, then the next resistance level will be at around 50 MA, which is in accordance with our previous zone of accumulation. The price may hold here for some time, and this will accompany our accumulation phase, or will go slightly down towards the level of 5,800, 6,000, which is the previous bottom of the triangle in 2018. So there are different scenarios which you all the time have to take into the consideration. Once again, if we will drop the Fibonacci retracement level, the first stop would be around 8,100, which is exactly the 50% of Fibonacci retracement. This is the 200 MA, which will be acting as a support, and if we will be able to hold this, then we might see an increase in the price towards the new highs. If we go to the Binance exchange and we'll go to more local time frames, you can see that what we were expecting is the retracement towards at least the 50 MA, which didn't occur. So the price was staying in the horizontal channel without any retracement and started its increase straight from the 29th of April early in the morning. The price just jumped literally towards the top of its range and the previous resistance of 9,450. Now once again the price is starting its retracement slightly. The first stop would be 50 MA, if we'll draw the Fibonacci retracement line once again, we will be able to see that on the 4-hour chart, this will be at the 38.2% retracement, which is around 8,400, first stop over here. We might go even further to touch the 200 MA, and this will be a further retracement towards either 50 or the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement. So during this week, what we expect in the beginning of the week is the short-term retracement of Bitcoin, and then it will depend whether this will be a new turning point, so we can go even higher, or we'll stay in that zone as the accumulation phase, or the price will break it with a nice volume and will go down. Let us now switch to Ethereum price, which is actually much more attractive in terms of its performance. So what occurred during the previous weeks, so starting from the 22nd of April, 2 weeks ago, we saw the nice increase of the price, which went even beyond the upward channel. The price found some resistance here, so it looks like the traders were fixing their positions at this particular time, and this was the maximum volume in February as well. So this line represents the maximum horizontal volume in February 2020. And this is exactly where the retracement started. If we go towards the 4-hour time frame, what we can see here is the nice areas of accumulation in terms of the price. So we can see one was between 193 to 199 or 200, where the price dropped right now, while this video is being recorded. The similar areas occurred during the price varying between 170 to 173, and the lowest one was at the bottom where we saw this ascending triangle. So all the time the price was acting in a very similar pattern. So we went to this area, went below it for this small retracement, went above it, retraced it back, and only then we saw another impulse wave. And all the time the price was behaving in a very similar manner. It was going towards the area of 0.5 Fibonacci retracement from the previous impulse wave, and only then it was starting to increase and accumulate strength. This is exactly the similar point over here. What we would expect is the price to start its accumulation in this area. If we drop the Fibonacci retracement from the previous zone, this is exactly the 50%. So in around this area, we should see some accumulation in the next day or maybe two, and only after that we would be able to see the increase in the price, to check it as a 50 MA as a resistance, and if we would be able to break it, then another point with the highest volume in February, which was also the peak of the previous local high. So the final conclusion about the Ethereum is very simple. What we're expecting right now is a further slight retracement towards the bottom of the channel, towards the area of 61.8% for Fibonacci retracement. And then if we will see the volume picking up there, then we might see another impulse wave towards at least the previous high, which would give you around 15-16%, which is quite a good profit with a very narrow and small stop loss. Thank you very much, guys. That was it for today.